Welcome to This Week in Crazy America with me, Ollie Sibley, standing in this week for Reese Hancock. And we've got some crazy stories for you this week, that's for sure. We've got watermelon-wearing shoplifters, a man that set fire to Grandma's house and tried to trap her dogs, and an extreme reaction to an early morning alarm call. Now, folks, before I get into those stories, I want you to consider subscribing to Crazy America for weekly updates of all the crazy stories that we see across this great country, and also updates and videos as and when things happen in Crazy America. So, without any further ado, let's get straight into it. So, probably the biggest story of the week was a very tense situation which was followed across America, and it unfolded in the unlikely location of Belnoir, a town in a sleepy corner of southern New Jersey, not far from Philadelphia. Now, that town has become famous because of a gym owner there, Ian Smith, a very defiant man, crazy-looking fellow with a big beard, but a guy that followed through on his promise last week to open his business. And he opened his business in direct violation of the state's shutdown orders that came from Governor Phil Murphy. Now, Smith and his supporters said they were fighting for their rights to work and make a living, and doing so in a great American tradition of civil disobedience. Murphy pushed back on them and said that he had the right to shut the gym. So it's a bit of a standoff right now. Smith is continuing to open the gym, but we'll have to see what happens. And Crazy America's out right on this story, and we'll keep you posted. Now, we've regularly reported these last few weeks about the need to wear face coverings and how that's pushing some folks into some very strange choices. Some of those decisions that folks have made have sparked outrage, like the California shopper who donned a KKK hood. Now, that was absolutely despicable. But this week, we've seen yet another weird mask choice. Thankfully, it's not been in the realm of a KKK face covering. It's not been any of that kind of racist shit. But what we did see was a pair of thieves rock up to a Virginia convenience store wearing, wait for it folks, watermelons on their heads. They were full-on watermelon masks with eyes and mouth cut. Using that disguise, these pair of thieves then proceeded to pilfer the shelves before fleeing. Police have now tracked down at least one of the melon heads, so we'll see what happens to them, but that probably isn't the best way to cover your face, whether you're committing a crime or not. So we'll see. Now, down in Tennessee, another man has a lot of explaining to do to Grandma. The man by name of Dustin Matthew Sneed, and there's a picture of him up here, an odd-looking fellow, very odd-looking fellow. You can see he tried to burn his grandmother's house down. But even worse than that, he allegedly also attempted to trap two of Grandma's dogs in the blaze. Trap them in a room in the fire. Absolutely despicable. Thankfully, the police and I think the fire service managed to get the pooches out. Thank God for that. But I think Dustin Sneed and Grandma, they're going to have a very, very difficult talk. Now, much worse than Dustin, though, and the sickest act of this week in Crazy America is the disturbing case reported in Macon, Georgia. And this was a man, and we can't really go into the full details, but you can see the headline up on the screen. This was a man who was alleged to have had intimate physical relations in public with a woman who turned out to be dead at the time, and obviously dead subsequent to that, as police discovered. Not only that, the suspect, Kenny Oberon Whitehead, he's now charged with a woman's murder too. Truly shocking case, folks. And this is a story we're going to stay right on, so we'll definitely bring you any updates on that. However, running Oberon a close second is West Virginia maniac Richard Ellison. He was pissed off at the early morning cock-a-doodle-doo of his neighbor's rooster, so what did he do? Did he just shout or holler like the rest of us might have done? No, he not only killed the poor animal, he killed the poor rooster, then he did something truly despicable and sickening. He gouged out the eyes of the elderly neighbor nearby who owned the rooster and killed the man, a man over 70, disabled, with a prosthetic leg. Truly horrific, sickening story. Now, Ellison's family called the police and they claimed he just flipped, that he's mentally ill. No kidding. Well, I think we'll see what happens with this case too, but it's mighty disturbing. Now, finally, folks, a truly heartwarming tale that could have come from a movie script. And it happened in Virginia, where a lady named Emily Shantz and her family found bags of cash lying on a road. It turned out to be around $1 million. Could you believe it? And if that wasn't extraordinary enough, finding that kind of money, Shantz decided to do the honorable thing, something not all of us would find easy to do. She called the cops to hand the money back. Now, they could get a reward, if not in this life, then maybe in the life to come at least. We'll see. Anyway, that's all the stories we've got time for this week, folks. Stay safe and healthy, and we'll see you same time, same place next week, either with me or Reese. And remember, before we go, do press the subscribe button and sign up to the channel to get regular updates. Bye for now.
Well, we used to know that damn, what the whole thing